SOC 110 ko. Duga course names na Social Stratification gi Unit 1 ni. Unit 1 gi topic maming sina Basic Concepts, Meaning and Approaches of Social Stratification haibani ko. First of all, introduction da khoi ni yeng du what is social stratification? Social stratification haibase karino sineba ko. The social stratification haibase karino haibase khoi understand taw na ba karino na yeng pa matamda groups and social categories in societies are ranked as higher and lower haiba. Haidi akhoi na society da leiba groups, social categories or community mayam sa higher and lower rank oina khaidokpa. Awang bathak anem bathak haina khaidokpado every strata da strata haidi level amamam da khaidokpado upper class, lower class, middle class kaina adagi according to their status ki oina khaidokpa yai adumaina khaidokpado group and categories in societies and haise society do groups and categories da khaidokpa sa sisi bo khoina kai kauge haiba matamda social stratification haibase si oidoini ko. Aduna social stratification se kamaina khaidoi according to what haiba matam sing pamatam da according to the prestige, wealth, status and power haibasin. Prestige ki matungina khaidok pasu yai magi stratification se or either wealth ki matungina khaidok pasu yai or status ki matungina khaidok pasu yai or either power ki matungina khaidok pasu yai social stratification se ko. Aduna social stratification se either mana group mioi mana group to the belong to is either it may be because of the ascribe or innate or haidi some ascribe or innate haidi to the group which you are born to it nangdo adugi group to the mioi se magi group to the born to it have a born to budo aduduna kaino harakanda ascribe status kawiko aduga achievement ascribe or achievement status harakana something which you achieve by your own self haidi born to it nataba nangna like tamaga oigera hotna hard work tawraga bu oigera tumaina achieve tawbudo exam maybe something academic achievement oibi or any form of achievement oibi aduga ascribe kin example da koina race caste ethnicity sigumba se which you are born to it oibido aduduna kai kauge haba matamda koina ascribe status na kawebako. Aduna social stratification se masi akoine pada yengakpa matamda si se kaino haiba matamda it is a historical process neba masi historical process every stage of society da hunting and gathering society da bu oigera feudal society da bu oigera adegi church ne rule to society da bu oigera any type of society da social stratification se adum found the weba ko. Aduna sigi immerse tawrapase kamaina immerse tawge as a social institution or immerse tawbase at certain levels of social evolution and development haidi social evolution gi matungina masu social stress society se stratify tawbase change tawreba haidi mai mawong mataw do change tawreba ko stratify tawrapado magi evolve tawrapagi matungina society do develop tawrapagi matungina atugi matungina stratification sisu haidi forms of stratification sisu it changes according to that haibako. Aduna first akoini ba matamda evolutionary process yeng siko evolutionary process yeng ba matamda evolve when technologies of production underwent basic changes I say akoina social stratification si karam kanda evolve or karam kanda change or ke har kanda production technologies of production se akoi ki forces of production pot puthok adegi akoi ki machines industry factories siguma mayam se change tor pa sigi matungina stratification si su change tor eba ko example this da koina animal husbandry and agriculture shift from animal husbandry and agriculture to complex technologies and advanced settled community haidi han animal husbandry agrarian society or ambadagi complex technologies and advanced settled community or hana koi chatlaga hingamba aphang charaga lerambadagi ke fazana settled community oina lerakpa adumaina change torapagi matungina forms of stratification sisu change toreba ko adagi generate economic surplus and economic wealth kai damakta change tor ino haiba matamda ngasai gi akoi gi technologies anoba technology puthorakpa development lakpadi ki dorga har kanda we started generating economic surplus generate to bahore economic surplus generate surplus haidi kaino haiba matamda kon extra oina produce to budoko haidi profit based production haitar extra oina self sufficient gi damakta isagi konana bai damakta or any community mai konana bai damakta or society mai konana bai damakta or any state or country mai konana bai damakta nataba something which you produce it to gain profit phangnabaidamagta produce extra oina produce tawbuda adu kaino haiba matamda surplus kaweba ko aduna surplus lakpadaiti kedawre started accumulating wealth. People started accumulating wealth accumulate tawba hore adagi growth of population growth tawba hore hana with the advancement of the technology advancement lakpadagi medical science the advance lakpadagi akogi infant mortality handharakpa maternal mortality rate handharakpa birth rate hengalakpa sidagi dikitoge haba matamda population se grow drastically grow tawba horeba yam thina hana leiramba changdagi yam wangna hengalakpa heleba ko haidi hanadi infant mortality rate maternal mortality rate ka birth rate ka se stable oraga chang amada leirambado death rate to handara kan the birth rate to wangkhalabani kedawi population to growth of bahureba adegi barter or exchange of commodities increases barter system adegi exchange of commodity barter system haidi akoina pot ka exchange tawna baduni ko hanam money gi kaino se leitringai da paisa se leitringai da koina pot amaga aigi chain kg amaga magi tilhau kg amaga exchange tawna or aigi nga kg amaga chain kg ama admaina exchange tawna ba pot ka exchange tawna ba kai kauge har kanda barter system ko ba admaina adugum hengalakpa exchange of commodities me ama hengalakpa sigumba me amse sina factors ne ba ko adegi ke the we specialized groups emerge hanadi mi amana pot khudimak torambato kaidawi specialized groups hengale haidi special potsak amagi magi thabak amasigi magi taunaba special oiba group amam hengalakpa haitare ko division of labor ga lakpade division of labor ga lakpade akoina hana mi amana loima workers oramba laborers oramba adegi kaino su managers oramba adumaina oramba to kaidawi people started divided the jobs into different categories the different persons the divide to bahore pade mai own work laire adumaina adugumba sisu yengbe ai bako adegi silak padai dikedawi then comes the division of the rural and urban centers ki division lai rural and urban centers tadi akoina hana kaino se community se chapmana lairambado khara kaino because of many factors myamama adegi amenities myamam phangba horopadi urban centers olakpa adegi mafam khara da rural center oi hoba adugi division differentiation adu myamdo leiba hor aduna rural center da leiba rural area da leiba stratification type of stratification duga urban areas da leiba type of stratification siga different oiramgani ba different oyeba adugini ko si akoina pusala isa aduna akoina stratification ki organizing principles. What are the organizing principles of social stratification haiba social stratification se yang pamatamda magi organizing principles ahum lai kai kaino haiba matamda status ne wealth ne power ne status wealth and powers are the three organizing principles of social stratification haiba ko aduna amamam status sina kamaina organizing principle or wealth sina kamaina organizing principle or adi powers sina kamaina organizing principle or haiba sini ko kwenisla discuss taw doise ko first of all let's look at the status the yenga si ko kwen status ki ma se as an organizing principle or ni yeng pa matamda kaino haiba matamda it is the earliest principle of social stratification status the earliest principle of social stratification neba ko aduna sigi huziki status wealth power habase moise linkage amam loimak leibagini ko akoina status wealth and powers organizing principle na lower ise ko aduna hanagi kai haini akoina even evolve hunting and gathering types of societies about akoi social stratification se atum leiba thengneba individual se aidi mioi kharana higher status leiba adegi kaino kharana mi kharana lower status leiba adumaina hojiki type ta yamna kaino oina class different class oina khaidokpa aduina khai aduna tatar still prevalent oirameba aduguma makhalgi society se ko aduna social stratification se karam kanda lakhe haiba matamda koina social gradation is entire social group amagi magi social gradation se tawba matam sida entire social group amagi magi social gradation se lakpa matam sida social stratification se la ineba ko aduna is the first and foremost akoina status yenge ko status se kaino haiba matam da koi haijere earliest principle of social stratification haidana ko aduna ranking of groups in a society on the basis of their relative position in terms of the honor or respect haidi magi status se kamaina status na based oiba organizing principle oiraga leiba type adugumba makhalgi society sida kamaina social stratification se khaidoke haiba matamda on the basis of the relative position in terms of honor or respect ki matungina high status low status haina khaidureba ko magi status tu ki matungina khaidureba adun honor haidi kaino haiba matamda which members in the status of haidi izat sanman adumaina toba respect phangba adugumba du oidoni ko aduduna principle of ascription it is the principle of ascription and high is something which you are born to it example the brahman example lang say brahman mo obegi high caste system the higher caste ni dominate atopa sing do caste dominate to wanga min haibigi adugi status to kamaina phangino haibdi that is not something which you earn nang na earn to banate it is something which you are born to it nang na born to ba sa achieve tauba status to natib aduna kai gino haiba status lakpa matamda principle of ascription na la ise ko aduna sida example da koina caste system jam thini appropriate way status group ki example piba matamda we can give the example of the caste system and is caste system da di kaino haiba matamda caste ki magi different subcaste laiba mayam do kai doge har kana moi gi status to kamaina phange haiba matamda because of this ascript status neba moina phangiba mayam do mi sing do either brahman da pokpa mi sing na brahman da or untouchables da pokpa mi sing na untouchables da neba laido aduna qualities sing de status ki di qualities sing se kai ge relate to ga haiba matam da it is related to the values and beliefs to reasons and needs perpetuated in societies over a period of time and haidi values belief system thaza bathamba adagi myths ka has perpetuated in societies haidi over a period of time matam kuina de koina thaza balerpa caste system daga thaza bathami se kaino believe in the akoi gi karma dharma gi belief ka lei basi mathang mapok taga twice born casting sinaga moida adum accept toraga lei se kai gino hai taraga di moido religiously bind toraga thambagini kain have adumba values belief system matam sang na leraba over a period of time da matam sang na leraba adugumba makhal gi belief system mayam se aduduna bind toraga aduduga yam mari leinge ba status da Next, second organizing principle da now comes to the wealth. Wealth sina second organizing principle oidoin. Aduna wealth se kamaina generate tawge haiba matamda only when technologies advancement takes place and change in the mode of production. Wealth se karam kanda will accumulate tawba ngamge haiba matamda advancement of technologies advanced tawrakpa industrial revolution ga lakpadagi ko factories industries adagi hana akoina kainogi handmade goods mayam se machine made goods na change tawrakpa adugumba adagi modes of production self sufficient oirambadagi surplus value ki damakta market ki damakta produce tawrakpa sigumba modes of production change tawrakpadagi ke wealth se accumulate wealth se generate tawra in societies ta ko example the change from the hunting and gathering to settle agriculture hunting and gathering society oirambadagi ke dawi settle agriculture the change tawrakpa CI ko. Adagi mathang the change from agriculture based economy to one based predominantly upon manufacturing and industry has. Han agriculture based economy or agrarian society or dagi industrial society the change torpa. Industrial society the olakpa. Aduna manufacturing and industry predominantly upon manufacturing and industry kind has hana agrarian society da di kedawi accumulation of wealth se well accumulate tawge kind haiba se yamna adugi concept kasi kashu leiramba nate but then with the coming of the industrial revolution lakpadagi industries factories ma'am tholakpadagi the people started having this concept of well accumulate ba adagi societies adugi matungina stratified or wealth leirapagi matungina stratified or aduma se laktoine ba ko hanadi well ki matungina stratified to ba se kashu leiramba nate hanadi because of their status ki matungina ne ba society se stratified to raise khaidu ami se ko makhal oina haidi every strata da natraga every level da khaido mi status ki matungina khaido mi ne madai mathang de kai wealth lai society to change tor padagi agrarian society oram badagi industrial society da change tor padagi ke doge haba matamda wealth ki matungina society se stratify to bahoreba aduna si matamda the economic advancement led to generation of more wealth in society economic advancement lak padai economy the advancement myam malai factories industries adagi certain export import jisigum myam factors myam malak padai ke doge haba matamda koi gi advancement myam sna it led to the generation of more wealth in the society that generate wealth se hena generate tawba horeba ko aduna groups which had greater control over the economic resources and wealth or which possess more wealth were ranked higher than groups which control less of it had little or negligible access to it haidi groups kangu amana haidi resources economic resources to control moina control tawba natraga wealth to control tawba si mayams na kaidoge har kanda economic resources control to bakangus na they have more wealth than the groups na moina kanadagi henge haiba matamda economic resources se yam control to bangam zada ba landless laborers kumba adagi akogi peasants kumba proletariats kumba sigumba mayam sina other side ama lairani aduga economic resources control to bangam bakangu capitalist bourgeois sigumba mayam sina kaidoge haiba high atop level ama da laidone ba aduna group ani thokna khaidore ba ani thokna khaidor pa se handi status ki matungina khaido mi dana sidadi mu kaidore group se ani thokna khaidore iba group se according to what the khaidor pa matam the according to the wealth they possess in the society to wealth kayam yam na lay economic resources to control kayam yam na lay moi gi makutta ajugi matungina stratified society se stratified tawre eba ko aduna next comes to the power de la asiko power have se kaino have matamda it is something which relatively principle of power is a relatively diffuse attribute because it is not exclusive in character has exclusive oi banate ba mase aduna persons or groups which have power to impose their will on other groups by legitimate use of course power haidi kaino have matamda command define tawba yage have matamda koina some maybe a group or an individual which have the will to impose something on who can impose their wills upon others moi will to impose to bangam do atopada by forcefully to by legitimate use oina to or illegitimate oi besu yai adumaina different power se kaino define to my will to my apam do mingon to impose to bangam do adu do kai kauge happen matam da koina power kaweba ko aduna power se lakpa matamsida kaino haiba matamda koina groups natraga categories ama or certain individuals moisna hena ngasagi wealth and status hena leba hanigi organizing principle wealth ka wealth status ka wealth ka do status ka wealth ka hena leba hena high status oiba high large accumulation of wealth leba kangu sina they might have so much of power in their hands moi the power hena power yamna pairamba yai adegi la kaino toramba yai adegi power se koina muka yeng pa matam da kaino oina legitimate oina sizina ba se kai ko ga har matam da authority ka weba ko authority na mula ise ko authority habedi akoina kaino haiba matam da example da koi ki kana ki example piba ya ke haiba matam da state ki example state maximum power hold over se kaino haiba matam the state chini da ko state have the power to impose any rules or any form of amahita adum impose over ya dana magi citizens kai du da magi state to gi boundary da leiba mi sing du da anything imposed over ya dana ko aduna adu kai to ga haiba matam da authority ka weba aduna sovereign authority to impose its will on the society in high se ko aduna legitimate oiba institutionalized oiba powers na kaino haiba matamda that is called authority ka weba ko the power the different kinds like muscle power or rambayai or any political power or rambayai or maybe kainogi mana pariba power do accordingly power hairaga different kinds of power like aduna mana pariba power do gi matungina power do legitimate oina sijina taragadi example the police officer mana pariba power do kaino haiba matam legitimate power neba kai authority neba mana mangonda leido kai gino haita legitimate oiba anyone that use the yaiba in anything lakpa matamda any crimes or anything lakpa matamda mana power do sijina ba yaiba that type of power is called the legitimate power na kawra ise ko. Next, akoina types of social stratification. Social stratification gi magi types taruk le. Kay no haiba matamda different types se magi accordingly matam dugi matungin na change tawra ini ko matam dugi matungin na sa ina to evolve tawra pa society develop tawra pa gi matungin na types se khaidura ini ba. Aduna first type ta kay no haiba matamda S set system haiba sineba ko. First type sida the S set system. Second type da now comes to the slab system haiba malaire. Then third type da state system haiba malaire. Aduga fourth type da caste system haiba malaire. Fifth type da class system, and the last one is the race and ethnicity haiba siniko. Aduna sigi type sing se akoina each amamam tang oina discuss tawrak toine ba ko. Aduna first type da akoina let's come to the S set system. S set system haiba type of stratification se karamba makal gi types the phangba ngambage sizinarambage chatnarambage haiba matamda stateless society the chatnarame ba sise. Stateless society are found to be stratified on the basis of A's and H's. Stateless society modern concept modern gi nation state lak chingai matam sida dikedawi society do kamaina khaido omge haiba matamda kamaina stratify toramge haiba matamda on the basis of the A's mogi chahi gi matungina khaido ameba. Chahi A's haidi chahi ni ko aduna chahi gi matugina society se stratify torameba ko. Do karamba society the mostly chatnari se certain East African societies se yam chatnaramba thengnei ko. East African society da koina prominent oina thengnari se amuka Maasai and the Nandi community of the East Africa. Maasai and Nandi communities da yamna thengnai yamna prominent oina chatnarami se sigi makal ki community sing sida S set system se chatnaba thengnei ba ko. Aduna authority se kamai tawge haba matamda exercise of authority on the basis of the A's and high se ko. Aduna ranks are determined on the basis of A's are called S set size. Haidi centralized government kumbalai taba centralized government hauziki akoi centralized government ka lei busmaina centralized government laitaba makal ki society sida ne ba ko S set system chatnari se. Aduna sigi study kamai tawge haiba matamda mi sing se kamaina stratified group ama leire moi se kamaina group se kamaina stratified tawge haiba matamda moi ki chahi gi matungina khaidok toine. Example de chahi tara degina kun bhaw ki group ki moi ki group ama kun degina kuntra bhaw ki group ama kuntra de ne nipu bhaw ki group ama adumaina makhal kaino bhaw chahi magi maximum chahi du ba mi du na hingi ba du gi maximum haidi group tu na mostly hingna ba chahi 70 oigera 80 oigera adu bhaw se khaidok toine adu gi khaidok pa gi matungina kaino se magi types of the mana tawriba haidi moi gi responsibility the group to the moina puga the responsibility every group to na puga the adu gi do adu accordingly semak toine ba ko magi group to gi matungina. Aduna first set are usually comprised of 6 years to 15 years. Haidi chahi taruk taret tegina chahi 15 16 years adoi bhauki manung da leiba kangu sing se adolescence period ka ai se adolescence matam adolescence oirakwa matam sigumba swai bau se first set they usually they are comprised of the first set se moina comprised oi bako. Aduna set amada chat ki hai taragadi ke doge haiba matam that they need to go through initiation rites chat padarkar oi ba initiation rites idea koina example the koi society da liming loba adegi sumaina adugumba makal gi sigumba types haidi sigumba rights se si se kai kau ga haba matamda initiation rights ko ba haidi childhood tagi adulthood tagi adulthood ta lakpado nangi childhood tagi na adulthood ta lakpa matamda sigi rights nangse angang oirambadagi mioi amase angang oirambadagi adult la e hai taragadi sigi rights se pangtho okanda socially sanctioned tawrine ba magi adult ama oirakpa matamda magi kai hani akoi ki responsibilities mayam ma helakani adigi hani gi lerami ba mawong matau aduma mayam do change pra drastically change or mature hut la ine mangso mature ore mi amase mature ore do haiba haibado ta ineba sisna aduna si se kaino childhood teki adult ta lakpa matamda they have to go through the initiation rights say every society ki different makhal miyam ama laikre ko kaino magi organ circumcised tauba natragana kaino gumba body parts circumcised tauba natragana body marks semba or any different types of society ki my initiation rights my society to ki makhaloina different kinds of initiation rights laikre ko aduna childhood tegi adulthood ta lakpa se kaina ayaba pige nang se initiation rights ta targadi mi ama se initiation rights ta targadi do adult ta laire natra maturehood ta laire ta ineba aduna sigisina magi kaino ama oina laire ko aduna people remain attached to the asset throughout his life and I said aduna mioi kanglup ama se mi makhal khar se magi example the person A hire A sigi magi group ama laidoni group se magi group se moi se chahi tara de gina 15 asai 6 to 5 to 6 years de gina 15 to 16 years ki group ama hire ko magi group se kaidoge haba matam da next year se pa matam da moi group se mo pull up na chatoine ba aduna mi ama magi set to dum aduda set to yarba mi do dum throughout his life my adugi group to adugi set to do ma dum set oina dum chatura bane my punsi chupado moina first childhood tagi adult la kera first stage tagi second stage as a stage to pull up chatoine ba aduna ni ko ma se remain attached to the set throughout his life and haisa aduna sigi membership se it covers all area of life magi member group to the membership se or member or matamda magi every sections of the life so loima cover ta weba hojiki group to na decide to se ma kana ga marry tawni whom he can marry adegi what land he can own and which ceremonies to take part karamba ceremony that mado take part to bayai karamba makhalgi land on to bayai kanaga luhong bayai adugumba mayam se hitami ami amaga luhonginge haina ama hita luhong baya da adegi sigi land si malongninge hire kanda sigi land si ma on tawninge hire kanda hekta on to baya da adegi ceremonies pangyaw di ausan baya da haidi mai specific oiba group to him doing a specific oiba tax adegi specific oiba ceremony specific oiba area adegi specific oiba person marry to wada bane aduna si me am salaima cover ta weba ko aduna member of an S set also belongs to a particular S grade and has a grades are clearly marked out from one another. Haidi mi amaga grade amaga manade dana. Example the childhood tegi junior warrior the lapa childhood or tegi junior warrior da warriorhood da tegi to junior warriorhood tegi senior warriorhood da mung lapa dumaina warrior akoy junior warrior se haidi magi kaino sigi group to gi magi on specific task like warrior sing to junior warrior sing to na lan sok na ba de gi senior sing to na kaino ko gi atopa kanggu sing khana chaina ba da wa ta san na ba de gi kaino tong na ba porakpa akhoi kaino pu yasana ba porakpa dugumba de gi atopa kanggu amana magi boundary do kaino tawra thamba dugum mai gi on groups to gi matungina kaino loinma khaidoga leba ko magi different tasks to khaidoga leba aduna stratify do ko mind toge haba matamda according to their age ki matungina stratify tawre aduga stratify tawriba groups to gi magi own set of rule or magi own set of kaino tasks different tasks like specific oiba life amom loinma leidoine ba ko aduna has all members of a particular asset move from one grade to another all at once amutang da pula group amado next set that chat ke haba matam da pula ong chatoini dana childhood oiram badagi junior warrior ta set amala toine dei childhood ki kangu amamuk la toini next admaina set to pula chatoini aduna social status ta kamaina to ga mi individually change to dana social status se pula it changes all at once and has pula change to social status. Now come to the slab system. slab system se amuk yang asiko slab system se it did not exist anymore hojiki kai su exist tawdre karam kanda abolish tawgi ke haiba matam da abolished in 1833 by Britain and 1865 by USA da 1865 da abolish tawgre aduga Britain da na 1833 da abolish tawgre bako hojiki slab system se aduna slab system haiba sigi makhal sigi society sida di kamai tawge har kan it was emphasis was given on the economic inequality da pi ba emphasis se ko economic inequality da akoi gi moi gi emphasis se kai da pi gi haiba matam da economic inequality da pi ba ko aduna slave system sida two types of society two types yang akoi ne koina ancient slavery haiba maga new world slavery haiba maga ko aduna sigi type ani sida ancient slavery se karai da mostly prevalent oi gi haiba matam da in ancient Rome and Greece tana prevalent oi rame ko aduna moi sigi matam sa Rome and Greece to oi ba slaves oi ba sing se kana kana no haiba matam da they are usually foreign prisoners of war da war tauna ba matam da koina prisoners oina porakpa kangu sing se mioi sing se moi se slaves oina season ye ba moi se ko aduna ne foreign prisoners of war is haidi atopa mafam amadagi war tawrakanda prisoners oina porakpa kangu sing se they are used as slaves by the Rome and Greece ki mi sing na slaves oina season ba sigi sida kai ko ge haba matam na koina we call it as ancient slavery ko we ba ko aduga new world slaveries na karam kanda prevalent oi gi haba matam the colonial expansion and racist ideology lakpa degi colonial expansion lakpa colonial rule to expand torakpa adumaina expand torakpa degi kai to gi haba matam da sigi new world slavery se adu matam dugi types of slave system do we call it as new world slavery ko ba aduna matam du the slaves or ba mioi sing se it was designated as the master's property slave to gi mapu or ba mi do master or ba mi do magi property ne na lo ne ba slave to ko aduna slave or ba mioi sing se moi di kemta moi gi masagi or ba social political rights kamta leiba na te ko equal in bra exploitation se at the extreme level the exploit tau doini adagi in any forms of exploitation the exploit tau bidoini moi se adudagi kaino tau doini magi property oina hundok ningba matam da hundok pa season ningba matam da season na ba adagi kaino amta leitabida rights amta magi rights amta leitabida pura mi amasigi magi kaino oina master dugi magi property oina season aduine bako sigi types dana aduna si se karama matam da decline tawge haiba matam da because of opposition from various sections of the society haidi akoina akoi theory mayam ama leire the theory sing sida akoi gi slave ki labor se handarakpa inefficiency of slave ki labor se handarakpa dagi sigi se slave systems abolish tawgibani haiba lay adagi akoi gi educated and enlightenment period taga educated kaino sing sina moina oppose torokpadagi abolish tawgibani haibasu lay adagi akhoi slave sing sinaga slave sing sina moise revolve torokpa haitare ko revolve torokpadagi sumaina abolish tawgibani hadi decline torokpa se many factors mai factor ma khatangna decline torokpa na deba factors me ama leba sigi factors sing sina sigi factors me am se pulap la kanda decline tapna decline tor kanda abolish tawkibane ko slave system sa the next comes to the state systems state systems na it is the characteristics of the feudal societies of Western Europe ki feudal society the chatnaba system do ne ko sigi system sina aduna feudal society the feudal lords and serfs kind of khaido kanda koina lords sing se serfs sing sigi magi thabak tawbi ba moi magi damak to work tawba adumaina aduguma makhalgi society do oidoine ba ko aduna hierarchy of sidadi ke dawi hierarchy of social strata hierarchy leiba hore ba ko sidadi aduna mi amagi magi position se mana society to the health or position se or any magi community to the health or my position se kaida based okay har kan it is based on the ownership of the land kam on to ke habdo adu matungina land acres kam on tawi adagi kaino kam on to ge habdo gi matungina kaido ge haba matamda magi position the social position to aduda base tawe bako aduna sigi matam sida de ko gi hereditary transmission of social positions haidi magi wealth magi ownership of land to hana magi father na leirambadagi next generation da mo transfer taropa next sum transfer hayo hereditary transmission leibam next generation da tum transfer taropa do aduguma makalgi system do leiyeba ko sigi state system de ko aduna sigumba makalgi society sidadi akoina society so kaya thokna khaidokim haiba matamda four levels thokna khaidoeba royal family haiba ma priesthood or clergy haiba ma merchants and craftsmen haiba ma aduga peasants and serfs haiba ma si gai se khaidoeba ko aduna royal family dadi dum khange akoina royal families adegi nobilities kuma mayam se adegi priesthood and clergy sina royal families sina society magi society do puranga akanda adegi kaino tawra kanda leidoini ko adegi priesthood or clergy sina priest adi akoi khange dana ko kaino gumba akoi gi lining laisol gi thabak tawba adegi church kamari leina ba adugumba singdo oidone adegi merchants and craftsmen side traders kumba akodigi akogi pot chai saba khotpa artists adugumba mayam do lakini adegi last na kanano haiba matamda peasants and the serfs and haise peasants and the serfs ti masagi royal family to ki magi work to bakangu singdo landless oi bakangu singdo kemta mai masagi land laizada bakangu singdo adu to kai ko ke haiba matamda koina peasants and serfs kaweba ko aduna matam sida state system da society se sumaina royal family priesthood or clergy merchants akoi ki india da caste system khaidok pado adumaina they also divide the society into four strata da sumaina divide tawrame ba ko aduna royal akogi Daniel Thorner na akoi rural India da three classes khaidokpa dumaina agi kaino na khaidokpa dumaina khaidorpa society to khaidokpa oidoni ko aduna states may be referred to as division of labor and higher is ngasagi royal family adagi priesthood clergy or priesthood adagi magi akogi craftsmen peasants mayam do kaino haba matamda is state amamam do mase division of labor hadi labor do tawgadoriba thabak thoram dugi matungina khaidora ineba hadi peasants khaina tawgadaba thabak craftsmen khaina tawgadaba thabak artists khaina tawgadaba thabak de priest khaina tawgadaba thabak de royal families khaigi moigi mathau adumaina division of labor may be referred to as division of labor and haise ko aduga sitang na tabida kaino haba matam it also represent political groups should represent the state amamam na mai on political groups amamam represent taweba ko now comes to the caste system mathangdana koina caste system india gi caste system seng asiko caste system haiba matamda caste system yang pa matamda kai lake haiba matamda koina unique to the indian society caste system se it is a very unique system of the indian society ne manaba caste system ga haipet manaba adegi kitang similar oibadi atopa society tam am thingnaram but then Indian society quite unique oiba pot ne ko caste system se aduna kaiga associate tawge haiba matamda associated with the Indian agrarian societies as well as urban communities India gi agrarian society ga associate tawe hana India se akoina British lakringai matamda we were an agrarian society ni ko agrarian based economy oiba agrarian society ni but colonization lakpadagi British na colonize or padagi akoi ki machine made goods foreign made goods ma'am importer padagi adagi industrialization adumaina tamna change padagi kona change kibai wani but then before that we were an agrarian society neba aduna caste system se karamba makhalgi caste system sita lairiba magi strata amamam da lairiba group sing se close social group neba ko aduna amaga kemta mix up tawba yadaba close social group neba aduna akoina caste system dadi magi hierarchical orders the kamaina arrange to haiba matamda fixed hierarchical order of superiority and inferiority inferior oiba kangu superior oiba kangu haina arrange taweba superior oiba kangu da leiba singsina inferior singdo moidu use tawba moidu kaino tawba sizinaba adagi moida exploit of so many fact kaino mayam ama leigre ko aduna arrange the caste system that when we say caste system it is an hierarchical order oiraktoini that is arranged in the inferior and superior level the arrange toba aduna kai represent caste system lakpa matam da kai represent toge haiba matam represents the most rigid type of social stratification hai yam thina rigid oiba type of social stratification se uba phange ba koina caste system sida ko aduna characteristics of caste system yang asiko caste system ki characteristics se yengba matam first the membership is hereditary caste system ki magi membership se mi amana magi different caste to the each caste to the belong to he or she belongs a person belongs to that group because ngasai in haigiba ascribe status to adu do oidoni ko ascribe state hereditary oiba parents to kaino akoi gi lower sudras example sudras hairko sudras a person say parents to sudra oi tardi obviously their children is also going to be sudras oi doineba parents to brahmin already their children is going to be brahmin oi doineba sta kemta mobility kemta leite ko kemta change to ba amta yadeba aduna hereditary membership se kai oiba matamda hereditary oiba something which you are born to nang do to that book targa di adu dum oi doineba ko hayengwai si di phawa dum oi doineba aduna is caste is an endogamous group and has endogamous adi close group ngasai endogamous close oibodo haidi luhongba oigera marry tawba oigera or any sort of interdining intermarrying kemta yadaba endogamous nangi group to close oina nangi group to tang kaino tawrakanda exchange tawrakanda nangi group to tang wari sanarakanda or any marry tawba oigera or any sort of things to everything nangi own group to tang tawada baneba aduna kemta henjanaba amta yadeba ko caste system dade adagi next the social distance is encouraged by restrictions and social distance caste ama say social distance thamneba the restrictions me amale chamin thakmina ba yadaba interdining to ba yadaba adagi akoi kaino to higher caste na chatpa matamda moigi mafam du chatpa yadaba adu makal gi restrictions me amma legre ko chaba thakpa da bauta kacha food pakka food kaina khaidu kanda gi na thong badang higher caste na gi na thong ba cha injang chaga daba adagi lower caste na ishing na thong ba chaga daba adu different sorts of restrictions me amma leba caste system da social distance kha thameba every caste gi my social distance loimak thameba ko aduna caste consciousness next the caste consciousness is traced by caste names as well as by conformity to the particular customs of the particular caste and the caste consciousness yamna sense of moi akoi ki sig group amane ka hire ka my consciousness sense of kaino do yam thina my strong oina leibudo adu oyebu ko adagi occupational specialization last characteristics ta occupational specialization every caste ko dimaki my own specialized or occupation amam leba aduna four types of varna leko varna and jati haidi caste and subcaste atmaina lekre ko the four types of caste like kaino haiba matam da koina brahman kshatriya vaishya and sudras magi own specialized occupation loi leba caste sing siki ko brahman gi na kaino haiba matam da priest lere kshatriya gi na warriors lere vaishya gi na merchants traders or business kumba sigumba lere aduga sudras gi na workers sing masai gi akoi brahman kshatriya and vaishya se twice born caste ne ba moi se twice born caste haina lawe ba ko sigi twice born caste gi thabak subi ba moi gi damakta kaino tawi ba du kai kauge haiba matamda tawbiba bayam se kanana tawni haiba matamda moigi serve tawbase moide serve tawbase kanana tawni haiba matam sudra sina tawdone bako then we also have the untouchables leiko adumaina magi occupational specialization haise magi own specific occupation each and every caste gi magi own specific occupation amamam loinmak leyebako aduna own specific occupation lay restrictions mayam ama lay adagi kaino mayam ama different sorts of restrictions adagi higher caste na adagi village level de la kana jati kaina laktoini ko village level de na mai caste ki sub caste amu la kanda makhal mayam ama strata se makhal haidi sum pikna sub types oina sum khaidorak toine bako aduna chawna caste system gi di chawna strata se yang pamatam da brahman kshatriya vaishya sudra si gi mari se lani mari se mo brahman gi da mu sub jati haidi sub caste ke mo kshatriya gi da manung da mo admaina mathang khaidorak toine ba strata se differentiate torak toine bako next comes to the class system yang ase class system sidadi kaidoge haiba matamda social hierarchy primarily based upon differences in wealth and income. Class system dadi society se kamaina stratify tor ke haiba matamda according to their wealth and income gi matungina society se stratify to weba class system sidadi ko magi income hangiba income dagi accumulator ba wealth to kayamna accumulate wi kayamna lay income kya phangi haibagi matungina you belong to different class ta higher class to oigera middle class to oigera lower class to oigera adugi matungina you belong to according to their wealth and income gi matungina you belong to that specific class to belong to doine ba nang se ko aduna kamaina express to ge haiba matam da express in different lifestyles and consumption patterns hai leiba magi different karamba makhal gi lifestyle da hingi degi karamba magi consumption patterns to kamain to ke kain haiba se sigi matungina accordingly to that the class different classes to khaidorak to ne society to the strata social stratification to according to the stratification to sa kamain lakem haiba matam da class to gi matungina higher class lower class and sai caste system the brahman kshatriya khaidopagi type the now comes to the brahman kshatriya to gi mahutta now comes the ngasai gi brahman kshatriya khaidopadu di amuka mai gi status to gi matungina khaidori dena ko ascribe oi bani da the class system da di amuka dorge har kanda achieve status or yaktoine something which you achieve by your own oi doine ko adumaina khaidorak toine ba aduna class system dadi ngasai caste system dadi there is no mobility social mobility am talaite nang do brahman de podi brahman oi doini dagi kshatriya de podi kshatriya oi doini sudra de even if you are very intelligent oi targa su nang do yam intelligent oi re hai targa su ma gi do sudra de po targa de dum sudra oi doini but the mobility social mobility am talaite social mobility hai di change to bodo mobile hai di koi mobile oi ba change thok sa sin ya ba hai di yam na change to ba ya ba do oi doini ko aduna kaina characterize class system city kaina characterize to ge haba matam da it is characterized by social mobility both upward and downward intergenerational and intragenerational and high aduna upward and downward mobility social mobility laiba yaeba magi siguma makhali society sidadi ko class system dadi haidi example da nangi parents to workers or laborers or maybe they belong to sudras they belong to but then kai to have matam da ma da yam hotnara kanda like su phasana tam targadi social mobility upward mobility bureaucrat amo or any officer amo hadi mobility social mobility upward mobility laida or downward mobility or ambasya haina yamna brahman or ambadagi kaino tawbadagi ngaushana or any sort of kaino tawbadagi downward ta chatpa the intergenerational intragener hadi generation amada mobility to generation amada laibesya or intrageneration magi next generation the father ki generation the later bida son ki generation the or daughter ki generation the minus social mobility to laibesu yaebako aduna in all industrial societies there is the existence of the upper class middle class and lower class and industrial society khudimakta kai doge there will always be three classes ahum adum laigani kai class no haiba matamda upper class haiba ma middle class haiba ma ga lower class haiba ma middle class se mostly hana leiramba anoba notion oidoni ko hana leiramba hana upper class and lower class khatane ba leir middle class haiba leiramba na te kona lakpa concept oidoni ko middle class haise adu industrial society khudimakta kai lege haiba matamda class ahum se adum laigani ba upper class haiba kangu amaga middle class haiba kangu amaga well yamna leiba well accumulate yamna tawba ngamba degi income yam lakpa ngamba kangu du kai ko ge ha kana adu mayam do kai de belong to upper class se belong to krani middle class na average oiba marakta leiba kangu the middle class belong to raktoini the lower class na khwaidigi low oiba well amta leiba ngamdaba day to day laborers kumba adegi kaino toba nomagi talaga chaba adugumba singduna kaida lakani haiba matamda lower class ta laktoine bako aduna industrial society da tangna tabida even Daniel Thorner about the real India the three types of classes khaido ameba malik kisan and mazdurs haina ko malik kisan and mazdurs and malik sina kana no haiba matamda malik adi khangen akoi mai maming do those who own the land on to bakangu do oidoine bako aduga kisan gaisna kana small amount of land on to bakangu do oidoine aduga mazdur singna who do not own any land amta on to the bidang asagi first ki two type the first ki magi above the labor two types to the moigi land da work to buduna kai kauge haba matamda mali kai kauge haba matamda mazdurs kaweba ko aduna kisan Mali, Kisan, and Mazdurs kind Kaidora is upper class, middle class, and lower class Kaidora Pagi type the Daniel Thorner as mine in rural India. The Kaidora is a Kamina Kaidora Kamina accordingly my land on the Budumatung in a Kaidora in it. My now is my income, well, the consumption pattern, lifestyle to Gimatumina Sumaina, Quiki Kanosis, so upper class, middle class, and lower class, like in Eboko. Duna last key sida types the race and ethnicity se lae ko na race and ethnicity race type se haiba matam da what is a race race akoina kamai define to ba ya ge haiba matam da it is a biological concept ne ba ma se biological concept ni karamba makal ki concept ne haiba matam da refers to a large category of people who share certain inherited physical characteristics haidi group ama se moi se physical characteristics se inherit to ba se yang mana ba hai color of skin ni matungina moido certain race ama khaidokpa yai or type of the hair ki matungina khaidokpa yai or facial features ki matungina or size of head akoi gi GS Guri na magi caste and magi work the caste and class taga magi anthropometry data sizinara dagi sizinara kanda adumaina different race khaidokpa different India gi magi akoi groups ma'am different race ta khaidokpa adumaina race ai se hai kanda it is a biological concept neba accordingly color of skin gi matungina type of hair gi matungina mi do differentiate tawbuda adu to kai kauke haba matam da koina race ka weba ko aduna sociologists talk about race relations as form of stratification. These are characterized by unequal access race makal the specific race so moida kamai characterized so unequal access to wealth and power on the basis of their physical characteristics ki matungina unequal access to wealth and power lay example the coin African the apartheid system kind of lay si gumba mayam si example oina yengbe ai ko aduna race and ethnicity lakpane ethnic groups ethnic groups na kaino har kanda race na ngasagi physical features to araktoini aduga physical features manaba kangu do they belong to a specific race ne ba adu ethnic groups na kanano haiba matamda who share common cultural heritage common language ngangba common history leba national origin common national origin leba or lifestyle manaba singduna we call it as ethnic group kaweba ko aduna race ka ethnic groups race na ngasagi magi physical traits to gi matung ina khaidoraktoini aduga ethnic groups na common cultural heritage to gi matung ina neba ko aduna race ka ethnicity ka se lakpa matamda koina race se advanced anthropologists ma'ams na advanced studies ki matungina akoi caste ngasai caste system ka khaidora is caste system se prevalent society the prevalent oheli se Hindu society the prevalent oheli se kai gino haiba matamda magi race to purity and purity of the race to ngang na bai da maktani kind but then advancement of the studies lakpa matamda their advancement of studies ma'am mataropadagi so no pure race amta thengnaba phangdeba do 95% of the DNA molecules say yeng matamda kai toge har kanda all humans have the 95% of the humans have same DNA molecules layba ko aduga only 5% khatane ba difference layis aduna pure race haibase lay haibase anthropologists singna yade ba ko aduna ethnic groups se lakpa matamda koina haigre ko cultural same cultural heritage layba dunena aduna race and ethnicity se kaidoge haiba matamda sociologists sing ne yeng pa matamda yamna relate oina ba hai tare ko aduna ngasagi race to biological oina di different magi traits ne na akoina define tawre ko but sociologists sing na di kai ne na perceive tawge haiba matamda group of people who are perceived by a given society as biologically different from others haidi group ama deki group ama different oibedo adugi adumaina different oibedo neba aduga moiki kaino se moisi sigi race that belong to we have se kamaina public opinion molded by the dominant group singduna mold to kan okay they belong to this race and a different oina khaido thambado adudu never race hai ta sigi race ni si aduni haina scientifically kaino to ba amta natte ba ko aduna migration society advancement of technology like the rural urban migration sigumba migration massive scale the migration la layrak padagi adagi akoi because of many factors adagi jobs thibadegi or maybe because of education different factors maps degi rural urban migration yam chang yam wan hengalakpadegi ke dorage har kanda ethnic identities मैम मांगझलप cultural assimilation cultural diffusion सिगुम मैम थोलकपदेगी ethnic identities मैम मांगझलप सिना कई create तौगे हार कान ethnic conflicts कुम मैम create तौरेबको next अखोइना approach अमा येंगबा मतमदा Weber की approach दा येंगपा मतमदा social stratification से कमाइना माई approach से कमाइना Weber ना कई approach सिजनरकांदा study तौगे हाबा मतमदा interpretative and systematic approach सिजनरकांदा study तौएबा अदुगा माना ideal type सिजनरकांदा ideal type हाइदी अखोइना mental construct निको ideal type हाइसे अखोइ certain elements से emphasize तौनबा reality तो analyze तौनबा अखोइना mentally construct तौबा kainoneba ideal type haise ideal type sizinarakaanda mana social stratification se understand taunaba study taunaba hotneba ko aduna comparative understanding of the typical manifestation of the principles of social stratification aduna comparative understanding or comparative study tawrakanda tumaina Weber ge approach se sige approach sizinarakaanda social stratification se mana study taweba adagi next koina rise of capitalism lakpadegi class struggle ma'am emerge story capitalism lakpadegi industrial revolution lakpadegi class struggle ma'am na kaino to the bourgeois and proletariat la the surplus value kaino to rokpadegi akoigi alienation worker gi alienation lakpa adagi migration peasants from the rural areas sigumba ma'am factors ma'am sina kaino मैम से capitalism सिना create capitalism से मरम ओरकांदा rise तौरपगी मतुंग सिगुम्बा factors मैम से लोइमा थोहल्लेबको aduna accumulation of capital by the expanded use of the market ka haise market to accumulate tawkiba capital yamna leiba kangu se accumulate tawba they change the system of social stratification Hanna social stratification to become status ki matungina khaidomba de kainoi matungina khaidoramba do capitalist society da demo khaidorage har kanda magi bra change tora inebo aduna men classes se capitalist entrepreneurs and the working class analyze capitalist kangu malere capitalist indugi thabak toba working class so lak to inevestana aduna moigi entrepreneurs capitalist sing de gi moi sing na working class sing se use tawrakanda moido sidagi koina Karl Marx naga kainoga bourgeois and proletariat kaina khaidurei se ko dictatorship of the proletariat kaina laiba ma'am se so dagi alienation theory of alienation ga laiba ma'am se kai digi la ka haiba matam the capitalist society ne sigi proletariats ma'am se revolt or kan the socialist society socialist lak to an example the USSR adagi China si ma'am se ko socialist country laiba ma'am se capitalist to abolish to rakanda socialist country la ineba ko aduna next akoigi functional theories yengasiko functional theories na social stratification functional theory matungina social stratification sa dynamic system neba kai dynamic system karma makhalgi dynamic system no haiba matamda characterized by social mobility and continual restructuring of the rules of consensus building and haiseko aduna functional theory ki matungina di social stratification sa it is functional for the society ki damak the functional oy na laweba ko kay no hay tadi it acknowledges the role of competition and conflict layer pagi matungina mi se chapmana na same yamna line phangba poteki competition layer tadi conflict layer tadi ke dawi khwaidi best na phangak to ni tanako example ko exam ga tawri se kay no hay targa di exam to the first taba second taba kind of ranking system ga pira ise si se kai gi no hai tare competition tawra kanda ne aduna social stratification se darkar according to the functional theory singin the sigi oina di social stratification se darkar because of the role of the competition and conflict role se laina bagida magda darkar oi haibane ba aduna postulates the existence of institutional mechanism much as process of socialization the education empowerment by democratic participation si ma'am se loima postulate taweba man darkar oi en haiba ko according to the functional theories ki matungina ko now comes to the conclusion the yang asiko kuna social stratification se ngasai hobada in haiba kaino haiba matamda it is a system of social ranking neba society do rank ranking the khaido akanda involves relations of superiority and inferiority involved tauba the social ranking labaduneba kaida based toge haba matamda kamaina khaido ke haba matamda based on the status wealth and power gi matungina khaido eba ko khoi stratify taweba society se ko aduna social stratification se on the advanced society da tang lai kain haiba yade ko khoi na kai gi no haidi we have the as we have discussed in all stages of society the social stratification se found that we ASET system ngasai gi ASET system daga lai gi ba slab system daga lai ba state system daga hunting and gathering society about the social stratification se prevalent oirame haina khoina lawri se ko aduna even hunting and gathering society about the kamaina some are regarded as superior kan hai se the asset system the kamaina society the wealth status ki adugi concept kem ta lai chingi matam du about the koina kainogi system city system strative society is stratified ta rakan the lerm se hai mai gi level of society du matung inna koina mai gi different system of rankings adum layerga laeba ko aduna social stratification singa sai hobad hai gi it is a historical process and hai se ko adum evolutionary development depth society develop tor pa gi matungina adugi matungina change tor ineba mai gi system of stratification to tapna change tor pa ne ba ko aduna social stratification each and every society that every level of development that every stages of society that loinamak found that we social stratification say and high se ko with this we shall thank you.